What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today I want to show you a ridiculous, weird, brilliant, wonderful, confusing Transformers trading card game character card thing. Except it's not actually a Transformers card. It's also a Magic the Gathering card. That's right. One side is a Magic the Gathering card, an oversized commander size card. And on the other side, not unlike the triple changes we used to in the Transformers trading card game, we have both sides of an Optimus Prime. I know, right? It's extremely weird. Now you might think, Wossy, this sounds amazing. I would like one of those cards. We're not alone. I would like one of these as well. The chances of you or I ever getting one of these Optimus Prime inspiring leader cards is essentially zero. You see, they're called Heroes of the Realm promos, and they are given out to Wizards of the Coast employees. They are not sold. They are not given away. Maybe you can convince an employee of Wizards of the Coast, and they don't all get them, incidentally. Maybe you can convince one of those people to give, sell, or trade you one of these cards. Or maybe one ends up on eBay one day, and you end up being the lucky soul that actually gets to go and buy it. But unless one of those things happens, you ain't getting it, ladies and gentlemen. You ain't getting it. Boo, hiss, etc. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, when it comes to the Magic side of the card, I am in the next couple of weeks going to get knee-deep into Magic, and I'm excited about the prospect. For now, I'm not a big Magic dude, so I can't tell you too much about the card. I can tell you that it will let you flip a permanent target you control to its other face. I'm not in on Magic, alright? And similarly, he can become a construct with base power and toughness 6/6 and creatures you control gain trample. Like I said, I'm not so in on Magic. One day I hope to build my knowledge to the stage where I can really dig into how good this card is. I did ask a lovely friend of mine, Kirsten Gregory, about this, and she said, it's not particularly great. Okay, fair enough. However, I can tell you a lot about the Transformers side of it. And the Transformers side of it is really, really strange. And I kind of love it. So we have an 11-star character, which is slightly on the higher end, but not horrific. And we have got a health of 16, and we've got an attack of either 6 or 4, which is either fine or high, and a defense of either 1 or 2, which is either fine or kind of poor. I mean, if we compare the stats to Optimus Prime Battlefield Legend, the best, well, maybe. We've had some good ones, but probably the best of the Optimus Prime so far. That was a 13-star character that had less health, 1 higher defense regardless of mode, and, to be fair, like 2 higher attack regardless of mode. So, stats-wise, we're looking all right here. We would expect 4-12-2 on an 8 cost. So, kind of 4 or 6, 16, 1 or 2 on an 11 cost is fine. Not phenomenal, but fine. But what's really super weird here is that both the skills really revolve around the upgrade Matrix of Leadership. Now, it's not the first time we've had a particular upgrade that works particularly well for a particular character. Certainly we've seen plenty of Optimus Prime decks in the past using Ion Blaster of Optimus Prime. We know that Decepticon Crown is quite a nice card for using with Starscream decks, for instance. And to be fair, we do have a Starscream which does interact really nicely with Decepticon Crown. It is the Decepticon King, the secret rare from Wave 2, and in bot mode, if you flip Decepticon Crown while battling, you get +3 attack and +3 defense until end of turn. Okay. But this is the first time, and I think this is unique, and please correct me in the comments if I'm making a mistake here, But the skills really revolve around Matrix of Leadership. So in bot mode, when you flip to this mode, while upgraded with the Matrix of Leadership, each of your other characters gains bold free until end of turn. Now, from a little kind of linguistical side note, the Matrix of Leadership is strange, because Matrix of Leadership is the card, so it should say one upgraded with Matrix of Leadership, though that is a very pedantic point on my part. But it's extremely strange to have a skill that only fires when you have a particular upgrade attached. Now, don't get me wrong, like I've said, we've had plenty of cards that interact with specific upgrades. So, for instance, if we were to look at Ratchet, Ratchet starts the game with a medic already in hand, and then you boost your attack when you repair, and of course medic is a card that allows you to repair characters. But actually having the upgrade firing tied to having a particular upgrade attached, that is somewhat unusual. As for the bold free, I like it. I mean, we've seen bold free before, and it's a character that I adore playing around with, so it should be the first one that comes to mind for me. But Wave 1 Grimlock. Wave 1 Grimlock, when you flip to this mode, one of your Dinobots gets bold free until end of turn. The difference here, of course, is that each of your other characters, not Optimus Prime, your other characters, get bold free until end of turn. And a lot of the time that's not going to make a huge difference, but let's say for argument's sake you use all-out attack, so you are attacking with multiple characters this turn, or your opponent's characters are all tapped out and you have a couple of characters still to attack, then you will get bold free on each of them, whereas something like Grimlock would only give you bold free on one of your characters. And incidentally, well, Grimlock beats you with 1 defense in bot mode, but you've got significantly higher health, so that's quite nice. Flicking over into alt mode, and like I said, you lose a couple of attack, but you gain a defense, so that's alright. Other characters you control have tough 1 and cannot be dealt non-attack damage. Now, you might think that that's quite enough for one character, but it keeps going. When this attacks, search your scrap pile for the Matrix of Leadership and place it into your hand. Now, there is a tiny chance that there is, in fact, the Matrix of Leadership card, but I'm pretty sure they mean Matrix of Leadership. So that's really cool. You get to put it in your hand, so you need to have it, but you're going to have it. Essentially, you attack in alt mode, put Matrix of Leadership in your hand, and then next turn, you attach it and flip. So the only time you're really going to be worried here about being able to have it is early in the game. If you flip it while attacking or defending as one of your battle cards, you can fish it back out using your alt mode. And if you've already had it attached but your opponent has removed it, you can fish it back using your alt mode. Now, tough 1 is good. Tough 1 is fine, right? Giving your other characters tough 1, it's a nice little skill, but it's the kind of thing we've seen on Flame War. And we like Flame War. Flame War's a good character. Flame War has seen plenty of play in competitions. But by the same token, it's also a 5-star character. But they also cannot be dealt non-attack damage. And this basically turns it into Motormaster. And Motormaster is a good character that we like that sees play. Because of the alt mode skill, your other characters can't take non-attack damage from your opponent's cards. Now, this doesn't say from your opponent's cards, but it does say cannot be dealt non-attack damage, so yeah, it counts for everything. It means that if your opponent drops something like a Plasma Burst or a Zap, you're not going to take any damage. But it also means that if your opponent uses a character's skill, let's say something like Nemesis Prime, you're not going to take any damage from that either. Now, it does say other characters you control, but there's a big difference between this and Motormaster, and that is that Motormaster stops non-attack damage from your opponent's cards, This just stops non-attack damage, and right now I'm thinking Photon Bomb. This is a redonkulous combo with Photon Bomb. Now, to be clear, it only protects your other characters, so Optimus Prime would take the 2 damage from Photon Bomb, but none of your other characters would and all of your opponents would. That makes me extremely excited. I love that combo. Now, we've talked about Matrix of Leadership and the fact that it's really important here, and Matrix of Leadership is really good. You put on Autobots only. It is an upgrade utility with both an orange and a blue icon, which means it's good if you flip it while attacking or defending. It gives you +1 attack, which is alright. But while it's on a leader, each of your other characters gets +1 attack and PS1. And you are a leader, incidentally. And you are a leader in both modes. So that means you're going to really be able to take advantage of Matrix of Leadership here. Like I say, the double pip combination alone means you're not going to regret playing it very often at all. Now, you are a melee character regardless of which mode that you're in, so you do get those really nice upgrades, body armor and power sword, giving you bold and tough. And if you combine this with some other melee characters, you're already giving everyone tough 3 when you flip into bot mode. So if you play this with power sword as well, you're going to be giving your characters bold 6, which is really quite redonkulous. Not to mention you may well be boosting their attack with Matrix of Leadership as well. Although worth noting, Optimus Prime's abilities, both of them, only help your other characters. Optimus Prime doesn't actually do anything for himself, save get Matrix of Leadership from the scrap pile. The bold in bot mode, the tough, and the preventing non-attack damage in alt mode, both of those things are only for your other characters. They won't actually help Optimus Prime himself. And you are a truck regardless of mode, and trucks, I'm not a huge fan of the support that trucks get. Now, you do have team-up tactics, which will allow you to repair 2 damage from a truck, which would work nicely with my Photon Bomb example. But then again, if we want to be going bold, team-up tactics has a blue icon, and Photon Bomb has no icon, and Power Sword has a blue icon. We're going to need some orange icons in there, or else the bold is going to be pointless. We also can use a bit of the old battering ram, which is nice for flipping over your opponent's characters when you attack. But then again, battering ram also has a blue icon, so again, we really do need to start getting some orange icons in there if we're going to take advantage of the bold. I love this character. Now, as a quick side note, when we look at the picture here, it is clearly the bot mode of Optimus Prime, which is the big all on one side picture, and you can see in the image here, you can see the bend in the middle of the card, and it is the magic and the truck, which are actually the other side, half of each. So my apologies for that, ladies and gentlemen. I was lied to, or I misread it, one or the other. But I really like this character. Giving bold free, being able to constantly use Matrix of Leadership, having high stats, being an 11 cost, there's a lot I like about this. This seems like the kind of character that is good enough to actually see play. But a quick side note from me as we finish here, not only is it nigh on impossible to actually get hold of, but if you do, it is not legal in any tournament. That is to say, it is not legal for tournament play as a Transformers card, and it is not legal for tournament play as a Magic the Gathering card. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. But for now, I'd like to know what you think about this card. How much do you want this card? How much are you going to be trying to track it down? How excited are you for it? Let me know in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wossy. That's where we talk about Transformers and a whole bunch of other games. And do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching Wossy Plays.